Definitely stinks a little
It's also brand new.
bit. Exactly. Yeah, it's got to bake off whatever's on there. Holy shit, this thing puts some heat off. What's going on? Alright, so today we're throwing together a really quick little video. We already picked this thing up to use for painting the firewall of the Ford anyway, so we figured why not put together a little I don't know, you call it unboxing or whatever review. Yeah, there's a bunch of these things on Amazon, and I mean, being able to actually search and find some info on this specific one, I would have found really helpful prior to purchasing it.
Yeah, there's some written reviews that make this product sound rather good. People using it for drying paint to apparently powder coating.
Yeah,
if you're careful.
Yeah, apparently it'll get items up to like 450 degrees. So we'll see if there's any truth to that. But we cracked open the top just to make sure nothing was damaged, because you can imagine shipping beat up the box a little bit. There was not an extra box on the outside of it. It just came straight up like this from Amazon. So we're gonna start pulling components out of here, starting with this main piece.
They give you a little wrench to assemble everything. So
pretty sweet little wrench.
No tools needed.
Yeah. What's that?
It's a wooden lightsaber.
Careful, careful. The element's probably in there.
That's exactly what that is. Yep, that is the elements.
That's why this guy needs to be supervised doing anything.
Yeah, I still act like a child constantly. I'm gonna put that over here so we don't step on it.
Alright, I think that's one of the pieces, one of the braces. This is the main body of it. It's very heavy. Seems like a heavy, how should they vary? It's pretty heavy. Feels like it's decently thick material, steel, most likely.
Baby casters.
There we go. Okay. So that's the main piece with the reflector in it. Looks like this is how the elements attach. So yeah, we'll get her opened up. Check out the rest of the pieces.
Yeah, like I said, everything else was just kind of tossed in here. So you got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but nothing major.
An element, which is the most important part, the element was actually in a tube, kind of in the center of all of this.
Yeah, and it's got wrapping around it too, so they take the time to protect that, which is nice.
We're going to start putting this thing together, and we're going to test it out, see if it gets our firewall up to temperature. The main problem that we're running into is that we're in northern Minnesota, so it's cold as hell outside. Today's actually a gorgeous day. It's 30 degrees. Normally this time of the year, it could be 30 below zero. So
yeah, just a week ago we had like negative 20.
Yep, exactly. So
this
this kind of thing helps with, it's like the component that you're spraying then is keeping temperature despite what the room is like. Now you always want to try and bring the temperature up in the room in general. The ambient air temperature is better if it's higher up. That way you don't have your component that's 100 degrees and then the air around it's like, 30 or whatever. So that's what we did. We heated it up in here. The ambient air is about 70-ish degrees if I had to guess. And that's over here. Our thermometer's over there. It says 80.
Yeah, the downside is the slab doesn't get that hot. So the car is sitting obviously on the slab. There's not a lot of warm air down at 4 feet.
Yeah, so what ends up happening is we put a temperature gun, infrared temperature gun on the firewall, and we have about 50 degrees up at the top, which is like the lowest temperature that you want to spray something catalyzed with. So towards the bottom, it's in the 40s. So we need to bring this whole thing up, and that's the beauty of these infrared heat lamps, because this is what body shops use.
Yep, so we'll use this to heat up the metal before we spray, and then also to help cure everything throughout all the processes.
Exactly. Alright, let's start putting it together.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so we're going to start by just moving this guy.
Yeah, because that'll be the last thing that goes on.
Yep, the element is somewhere else too.
It's on the workbench.
Perfect.
So it comes to me or comes to you, don't step on it.
sides. And like yay. And then the other one's the extension.
This one's going like so?
Yep, I think so.
No washers though, that's a little weird.
The casters are gonna thread on these guys. Okay, so far it's pretty obvious. The bolts of the acorn nuts, they go on the main vertical shaft that slides into this T-bracket, or this T-frame. The outside pieces that hold the casters, they've got, looks like nutserts or like welded in threaded bungs on the ends, so the four ends. You just go ahead and you thread in your casters right into that. So you're just kind of tightening it by hand, grab a wrench, and you can get final tightness just on this, I don't know what you'd call this, I don't know, is that octagon?
Yeah, that's octagon.
Now, you've got these two, looks like M10s, or they might be 3/8 or something. These guys are for connecting the legs that have the casters on them to the main T-frame in the center. So that attaches on the inside underneath here. There are holes, and again there's more threaded bungs in there as well. So we'll get this first, and we'll adjust it so Donnie can get his side.
Yep. Nice and simple.
Okay. Slide a caster on here.
One more.
All right, so this is, I don't even know what you'd consider this frame piece. This actually has a detent built into it. So what that is, there's a handle on this side, and there's a little pin inside there, and this is all spring loaded so that it snaps itself into place basically.
Yep, so on this center portion here, there's actually holes on the back side of it. That's what that little pin goes into to lock into place.
Oh yeah. So you can basically just drop it. It's gonna find itself one of the holes. Kind of cool. So the main frame is actually built, so I'd say that we can... Oh, let's pop our
caps on.
Our caps in. These go on the lower frame part. Okay, I say we can move the table now.
We just have this one little screw, which I think it's for the ground.
Oh, I bet it is, yeah. All right, you want to slide Mr. Table? Okay. Alright, so what do we got here? You got the mallet.
Tap it down.
Okay, yeah, why don't you come over, give her a little tap-tap-a-roo. So we'll just get it good and snugged up. Alright, and they give you this kind of pathetic little set screw. So that goes into the slot right here. Again, make sure that the holes for the detent are on the back side of this thing. Next step is this boy. So what we might want to do is pull out the table again, because we're going to want to put the element in it.
We'll do the element first.
Yeah, I feel like I want to do the element on a table first. Okay. So let's wheel this out of the way. Okay. We won't be installing it with these. Basically, you loosen up these ends here, and then move the grill Actually has little holes here in the center, so you pop it out of those little holes. That's where these go. And then you slide the whole thing one direction, and then it allows the ends to come off at the same time that the grill comes off. For real. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some gloves because I'm gonna guess that getting oils from your hands on the Element is a big no-no. Okay, so on the ends of the Element, you have little terminals, and there's a couple of nuts. So basically your ring terminals are gonna attach on the end here. So what we need is we need to be able to loosen up one of the nuts on the end.
There's your handy dandy little wrench right there.
And that is what this bad boy is for. So be very gentle with the Element. There are a lot of pieces inside of it. Okay. What we'll do is we'll lift up the Element and we will attach the ring terminals first. Okay, then you install your Element clips. Okay.
And this just slides back over.
You can go ahead and start with that side. And then we'll slide this guy in. Just the one and the two.
Hey.
Okay, got to set our screws back in.
Sweet.
You can wheel the table out. Bring right back. Nice. Okay. I think it's time to plug it in and test it out.
Let's see what happens.
That's awesome. You just feel the heat coming off this bad boy.
So what we need is about 10 more of these. We'll just line the outer wall of the garage.
Yeah, or we could just like melt the driveway with these things. No joke, in the review somebody was saying they used it for that.
Yeah.
Melting the snow.
I can definitely see how somebody was curing powder coat with this thing. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
it hanging right in front, that gets hot.
Yeah, if you have
It's so
something
hot.
directly in front of it, I bet you. After a couple of minutes, it probably gets it pretty damn hot. And that's the thing about powder coating is like it will flow out after like 250 degrees, so I guarantee this is going to get it to that temperature. I'll be curious to see if it actually gets it to like the 450 that they claim. But that's not necessarily what we're getting it for. We're
No.
using it for curing catalyzed paint.
Yep. Engine
So,
base, that kind of stuff.
Urethane, acrylic epoxies, stuff like that. So what we're doing then is we're going to be spraying the Ford. So we've got a 1950 Ford, and we stripped down the engine bay as much as we could. We're actually going to be doing a bunch of custom metal work in it as well. So if you want to check out the build series on that, we'll have a link in the bio, or link in the bio, that's such an Instagram thing. Link in the description. We'll probably have a little doodad flip up here.
Or down here.
Or down there, or
Over
somewhere.
there. Right in this area.
So we'll show you guys a little bit of how it's going to work though. We're going to test this out, get the firewall warming up, see what kind of temperatures we see with it.
Start spraying.
Because that's the big thing, is we want to cover as much area as possible. And I'm feeling heat with gloves on here and here. So I think it's going to work good to cover a big area.
Yeah, I think so too. And what's nice is even if you step back 4 feet from it, you can still feel the heat from it.
Isn't that crazy?
So we don't need it right up against the firewall,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And I actually, just out of curiosity, because we're in such a cold part of the country, one of the coldest parts of the country, is this safe for our skin? And it is.
Yeah.
So you could use this, I mean, it's crazy amount of wattage it uses, but you could use this thing to literally warm up a work area too. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, a lot of heat coming off this thing.
Right
So
on.
anyway, let's flip this around. Let's move a few things that are underneath it and see if we can get it close enough so that we can put some heat on this firewall.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.